I thought you might find this very interesting. Prince Charles accepted £1 million from the family of Osama bin Laden, and this was written in the Sunday Times, July 30th of 2022, and it was by Gabriel Pogrund and Charles Keedan. Prince had a meeting at Clarence House and 7-figure donation from the Saudis followed. The Prince of Wales accepted a £1 million payment from the family of Osama bin Laden, the Sunday Times can reveal. Prince Charles secured the money from Baker bin Laden, the patriarch of the wealthy Saudi family, and his brother Sadiq. Both men are half-brothers of Osama bin Laden, the founder of al-Qaeda who masterminded the September 11 attacks. Charles, 73, had a meeting with Baker, 76, at Clarence House in London on October 30th of 2013, 2 years after Osama bin Laden was killed by U.S. Special Forces in Pakistan. The future king agreed to the money despite the initial objections of advisors at Clarence House and the Prince of Wales Charitable Fund, known as the PWCF, where the offering was donated. According to sources, several of Charles's advisors, including at least one trustee, pleaded with him in person to return the money. One of his household staff said it would cause national outrage if the news leaked to the media. They told the prince that it would not be good for anybody if it emerged that he had accepted money from the family of the perpetrator of the worst terrorist attack in history. The second advisor also urged the prince to return the money. They told the prince he would suffer serious reputational damage if his name appeared in the same sentence as the terrorist who was responsible for the murder of 67 Britons alongside thousands of Americans on 9/11. One source said the fact that a member of the highest level of the British establishment was choosing to broker deals with a name and family that not only rang alarm bells, but abject horror around the world. Why would you do this? What reason is there to do this? They added, I just didn't feel any member of the British royal family should be involved in that sort of undertaking. Another palace insider said that the great fear was that the payment would undermine Charles and the charity's reputation, saying there are other sources of money in the world. However, Charles was said to have felt it would be too embarrassing to hand the money back to the brothers and feared that they would suspect the reason. It's understood that one household staff member believes they were very vociferous with the prince, but were shouted down. Another advisor to Charles is said to have implored the prince to return the money. Their words caused great concern in the palace, but were apparently ignored. One source said they remembered every second of a conversation in which Charles was told to hand the money back. In response to inquiries, Sir Ian Cheshire, chairman of PWCF, said that the donation was agreed wholly by the 5 trustees at the time. Those were Dame Amelia Fawcett, a financier who chairs Kew Gardens, Sir Michael Rake, the former chairman of BT, John Varley, the former Barclays chief executive, Kenneth Wilson, an academic, and William Nye, then Charles's principal private secretary. A source acknowledged that one trustee, identified as Varley, raised sensible concerns before a full board decision was made. Asked when approval was given, a charity source said this took place after the funds were deposited in the PWCF's bank account at Coutts, where they were allegedly placed on hold pending a later discussion. The source claimed this was consistent with Charity Commission rules. They would not say what these were. A Clarence House source insisted that Charles's aides were not dismayed by the bin Laden donation, that nobody was shouted down, and that the decisions about whether or not to accept money fell within the remit of trustees. There is no suggestion that either Baker or Shafiq bin Laden was sponsored or been involved in acts of terrorism. As half-brothers, they are related to Osama through their father, Mohammed bin Awad bin Laden, a Yemeni-born billionaire who became the wealthiest non-royal Saudi after founding the bin Laden Group, a Jeddah-based construction conglomerate. He died in a plane crash aged 59 in 1967 when Osama was 10. Baker took over the company but fell out of favor with the Saudi monarchy in 2015 after an accident at one of his projects, which resulted in the deaths of 100 people. 2 years later, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, known as MBS, rounded up Baker and two of his brothers, Syed and Salah, during an anti-corruption drive and held in detention at the Ritz-Carlton. Baker was released last year. The bin Laden family's relationship with the prince's charities has never previously been disclosed and does not appear in public documents. Charities are not required to disclose their supporters. The disclosures come a month after this newspaper revealed that Charles accepted a suitcase containing 1 million euros in cash from Hamad bin Jassim bin Jabir Al Thani, who also known as HBJ, the former Prime Minister of Qatar. They will lead to new questions about the conduct and personal judgment of the prince. In the past, the prince's spokesman has claimed that all of his charities operate independently of the prince himself in relation to all decisions around fundraising, and that their trustees are responsible for all operational and governance duties. Charles has no official role with the PWCF, which claims to consult him from time to time. Trustees have a legal and fiduciary obligation to maintain a charity's independence and safeguard its reputation. They are also required to conduct due diligence on donations. The Charity Commission brushed off calls to investigate the HBJ donations even after Cheshire filed a serious incident report. Cheshire also told the BBC that it was unlikely they would have accepted the cash donations today because of anti-money laundering regulations. The regulator justified its inaction by saying that PWCF gave ample assurances. The commission is likely to face fresh calls to take action in light of the bin Laden disclosures. Its enforcement powers range from replacing trustees to dissolving a charity. The PWCF dismissed any suggestions of poor management in relation to the suitcases of cash handed to Charles by HBJ. Cheshire recently told the Third Sector website, "It is disappointing that over 40 years of our charitable grants totaling over £70 million to various good causes should be overshadowed by unfounded suggestions of improper management. It is not the first time that Charles has been embroiled in a scandal involving Saudi donors. Last year, the Sunday Times revealed he handed a CBE to another Jeddah-based Saudi businessman, Mafous Marais Mubarak bin Mafous, in a private ceremony at Buckingham Palace. Aides told Mafous's representatives that he would receive a special friendship and an honor if he gave millions in donations. The matter is at the center of an investigation by the Metropolitan Police. Charles, who had held undisclosed meetings with Mafous in London and Riyadh, denied any knowledge of the sale of the honor. Nor is it the first instance in which the prince has been embroiled with the bin Laden family. He generated headlines after it emerged he had dined with Baker to discuss the Islamic faith in October of 2001, just 2 weeks after the 9/11 attack. According to an account of their initial meeting in 2000, the pair were introduced by Prince Khalid Al Faisal Al Saud, third of 8 sons of the late King Faisal bin Abdul Aziz Al Saud, during a fundraising dinner for the Oxford Center of Islamic Studies, of which Charles is patron. He is widely reported to have inquired of Baker, "What's your brother up to these days?" The prince's meeting with Baker took place because of his patronage of the Oxford Center for Islamic Studies, according to the court circular, the official list of royal engagements. The bin Laden family formally disavowed Osama decades ago, but has long been dogged by their association. On September 19, 2001, 13 members of the family left the United States aboard a privately chartered plane of Saudi nationals. Cheshire said the donation from Sheikh Baker bin Laden in 2013 was carefully considered by the PWCF trustees at the time. Due diligence was conducted with information sought from a wide range of sources, including government. The decision to accept the donation was taken wholly by the trustees. Any attempt to suggest otherwise is misleading and inaccurate. A Clarence House spokeswoman said, "The Prince of Wales Charitable Fund has assured us that thorough due diligence was undertaken in accepting this donation. The decision to accept was taken by the charity's trustees alone, and any attempt to characterize it otherwise is false." So this was from the Times of London report. So I have a thought. Give that money to the families who lost their loved ones on 9/11 in the worst terrorist attack on American soil. Remember, it was Prince Charles who said, not like the Queen is defender of the faith, which is her something that she had stated in her coronation, that she would be defender of the faith. That's talking about the Bible. But Charles has said he will be defender of faiths, plural, and has embraced the Islamic religion. Has obviously embraced Islam. You know, Tim Cohen wrote the book, The Antichrist and a Cup of Tea, back in the 1990s. It was a very interesting read about the heraldry of Charles, and he points out things about the heraldry that are defined as some of the things that he saw in the book of Revelation. So that's a whole nother sector of setting up for the Antichrist position. Whether he's the Antichrist or not, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's interesting, all of these connections, and all of these people are setting up for the Antichrist to rule. Whoever it's going to be, I don't want to find out. I just want to go up in the rapture and be with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So anyway, just giving you this report. I hope you thought that it was worthy of your time. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Good night.